projects we are currently now working on in France is the Grand Paris Express. This is a program that was initiated in 2010, and the whole purpose of this program is to double the network of the Paris metro. We've been having this metro network in Paris, which has been very efficient. On the other hand, well, the city has been growing, the suburbs have been growing, and there is a real need to connect all these different suburbs, which the current network was unable to achieve. The whole idea is to now get a series of new lines that will connect the existing lines which are more or less have been developed in a star shape, all converging to the city, and not really serving the purpose of the surrounding, or in other words, getting the passengers to use the current network takes much effort and also gets a lot of the traffic to converge to the city, including a lot of people who only want to connect to one part of the suburb to the other. So the whole purpose is really to have a more efficient network to connect all these different suburbs and facilitate the travel time and travel plan for all these passengers in the Grand Paris area. So that's the primary objective. It's not the only objective. The whole Paris region is made of different parts that have different level of developments. And one of the objectives has been to have a more balanced development. And part of what is trying to be achieved is really to get some of the parts of the suburbs that are less developed to be in a position to better develop themselves. And one more thing that should be also mentioned about this program is that it is aimed at really preserving the environment, and rather than looking at new areas to build, for instance, the stations. The idea is to, as far as possible, use areas where they have some facilities that are no longer being used, that could actually be now taken for building, for instance, the new station. So I think it has been developed really from a sustainable development perspective. And I think this is also something which is remarkable to mention about this program. The current network is actually composed of something like 14 lines, which all together count to some 200 kilometers. And the new network is basically will end up doubling this network, so this will be an additional 200 kilometers of metro. Well, basically when we look at ITA, we identify that ITA is really the leading organization recognized internationally for tunneling and underground space development. Over the past years, our association has developed significantly, and including with some addition of new structures, committees coming on top of the working groups that have been from the very beginning the core of the association. Also, additional features have been really emphasized, and this has been actually through these committees, for instance, like training and education, which becomes more and more important with the growth of the tunneling construction worldwide, also the technical development, the use of underground space, safety, and if you look also in terms of what initiative has been taken, you have the tunneling awards, for instance, which we have been developing purely as ITA over the past 4 years. And all this means that a lot has happened in a very short period of time. And what I see very important is that now we take the most benefit of these different items that have been developed. And from this perspective, I would say that it will be very important to make sure that we get all these different components, all these different aspects, really connected to each other so that we get the most value of what has been developed so far. Well, the role of the ITA from the very beginning has been to promote tunneling and use of underground space based on knowledge sharing and also technical development. And I think ITA is recognized as leading this initiative, and I believe this is really the primary mission of ITA that should really be pursued and further developed in the coming years, taking into account that the world is changing rapidly, that we have additional expectation, growing expectation for sustainable development, for instance. Technologies are developing at a tremendous speed, and we need really to take into account all these different development into our future.